There are times in our lives when everything seems to go wrong. When despite our best efforts and for no apparent rhyme or reason, tragedy strikes. I've learned that periods of darkness can overcome us at any time. But I've also found that I'm able to endure, overcome, and in the process grown stronger, smarter, better. All is well in my little corner of the world. To be honest, I've given a lot of thought to what I don't want to pass on to Harrison, namely my dark passenger, but very little about what I do want to pass on. Janet Walker, but I knew her as Janet McKellen. I didn't exactly have friends in high school, but she was always nice to me. She and Joe Walker were voted most beautiful couple our senior year. Unlike Janet, Joe hardly knew I existed. Joe was captain of the football team, a real bruiser on the field, but I remember him for the bruises he left on Janet. They got married straight out of high school and moved to Virginia. I'd almost forgotten about her until I noticed her obituary in the alumni newsletter. She was found dead 3 years ago, an apparent suicide, but there was blood underneath her fingernails. How could it get there if her fingers were wrapped around the grip, pointing away from her body? It must belong to someone else, perhaps someone she scratched while putting up a fight. Perhaps someone who'll be at the reunion tonight. High school, a small world unto itself, combining all the warmest elements of a federal work camp with those of a third world poultry farm. It's a miracle I graduated without killing anyone. I was invisible in high school, just a shadow passing through the hallway. I'm only here for one activity. And there he is. Still the center of attention. I'm finally going to get some use out of my class ring. I sharpen part of it so that I can prick Joe's hand when we shake and draw a small drop of blood.
Dexter!
I need to find another way to get a drop of Joe's blood. And I think I just found it. Wishbone, Hail Mary, button hook. Nothing is what it seems. If I have any hope of blending in, I need to learn this. Just enough so that I can get close to Joe and draw a bit of blood. Even the coffin corner isn't as fun as you'd think.
We've got
Whatever the message, whoever sent it went to a lot of time and trouble. This is no amateur. Life is good. I'm not at all unhappy. I'm quite content to go about my life believing in nothing, with no fear that there might be something more out there. But I also have a son, and I have to think about what he wants and what's best for him, because who knows? Maybe he'll grow up to be someone who wants to think about those kinds of things. Until a few days ago, I was convinced there was nothing I believed in. But I was wrong. There is something I truly believe. Everything's better after a bubble bath. Rituals are important. Not just for a serial killer, but also for a 2-year-old if you want him to go to bed on time.
put him back.
Not that I mind. This ritual has become my favorite bedtime, alone with my son, being myself.
Monster story, Daddy.
Again? Okay, I may have told him this one before. I always knew this day would come. Just not so soon. I'm not sure how this next chapter goes. Keep your eyes on the bouncing ball and not on Daddy's bad pictures. Samuel Wright killed this store owner in cold blood, bashed in his head with a bottle. Now he's calling himself Brother Sam, professing to be a changed man. But I can't tell if I'm seeing a man who's changed for the better, or just a better cover.
Daddy's box.
Seems old habits die hard. Brother Sam's not a changed man after all. Hallelujah. I can't come back for Brother Sam until I make sure he killed that man. But while I'm checking, better safe than sorry.
I got it.
All wrong. Is this what the power of belief is all about? Knowing a dead fruit vendor never strayed, tending to a lost member of your flock, the ability to change. Wolves come in many forms. Some have big eyes, the better to see you with.
Want to connect this part that's adjoined.
Others huff and puff.
Hey, you all right?
No.
While others hide in plain
I
sight.
think I sprained my ankle.
Really? Let's take a look
I
at
heard
it.
something.
Did you fall down or something?
I should know, because like it or not, I'm one too. That's never going to change. And neither is the fact my little lamb is becoming a little boy. Walking, talking, listening. As much as I want Harrison to stay this way forever, from now on the only wolves in his life have to be the stuff of fairy tales. I can no longer allow him to see the real me, only the version that's make-believe. It's the only way this story gets to have a happy ending. They say old age is like a second childhood. There are primary colors, tricycles, and ball chasing. I barely made it through my first childhood. I guess no one makes it through the second. This place is 1 block from where the victim was found, a short walk for a retiree on a mission. One woman, another in a wheelchair. That leaves Walter Kenny. Moved here from Grants Pass, Oregon 5 years ago. How are you spending your second childhood? It's like my box of slides. Dried blood on the roots. These are from all of his victims. He's the Tooth Fairy. The man who terrorized the Pacific Northwest for 20 years, all he has left is a box of teeth. Is this what happens to serial killers at the end of their lives? Everything's ready. Kenny's apartment will make the perfect kill room. No one ever visits him, and the maid won't show up until the morning. Tonight, Walter Kenny will have his final tee-off. Walter Kenny's son will never know his father was a monster. Or at least not a killer. We all want life to have some kind of meaning. Seems like the older we get, the harder we look for it. And the harder it is to find. And some of us just look in the wrong place. But if our lives don't have meaning,
We'll see, Daddy.
what can we leave behind for those we care about?
There you go, buddy.
Walter Kenny wanted to pass on the ugliness that his life had become. What will I pass on? I don't know which slide goes where, who's who. There's no order anymore. Some people think that religion began as a way for primitive cultures to explain natural phenomenon. The fire, the wind, the rain. They created a god for each one.
I baptize you, my brother in Christ. You are baptized with Christ in death.
You'd think science would have made religion obsolete, but it hasn't. Go for a swim, come out a new man. If only I believed it were that simple. But Brother Sam believes, and because of that, he's fulfilled. It's written all over his face.
Just so we can start taking this shit apart.
Whoever did this seems to be a member of my tribe. But this is a horse of a different color. What is this? Brother Sam reads his Bible like I read blood, and every time he comes away with something new. Maybe if I want answers about this killer, his work deserves a second look.
Such aggressive, brutal cuts. He butchered this body.
But that doesn't make any sense. Not when he was so meticulous about composing his crime scenes. The complexity of the stitching in the belly of that fruit vendor. The attention to detail, attaching plastic to flesh.
So why would this same fastidious craftsman so carelessly hack and slash?
Unless it's not the same killer.
You think one person cut up the body and another composed the crime scene?
Maybe we're not looking for one doomsday killer. Maybe we're looking for two. I was drawn to science out of curiosity. Any questions I had, the answers were already there. But even science is never certain. Even the soundest of theories is subject to new data. And there are some things even science can't explain. Brother Sam would say it's not an accident that I've stumbled onto a killer who seems to have his own kind of faith. And while I don't believe in an unseen hand creating his own tableau, I do believe I don't have all the answers.
Dex, thanks.
I'm not looking at Deborah's middle-aged professor. Is this Doomsday number 2? But that's not the look of a murderer. That's the look of a man with true faith. I've seen it before on Brother Sam. Whatever this guy believes, he knows it to be true. During the Middle Ages, it was believed that the outcome of nearly all earthly events was decided by angels, either light or dark. I'm quite certain that face I saw in the crowd was of the dark variety. Unfortunately, he's chosen to remain anonymous. He left no trace DNA, no sweat, no saliva, no prints. A small repair. Something skin-like. Not your normal glue. Despite his wish to remain hidden, I may find a way to yank him out of the shadows after all. I have a face. Now I just need a name. Travis Marshall. Ancient Manuscript Restoration and Conservation. No arrests, no warrants. No moving violations, not even a parking ticket. Appears you live a quiet little life on 1742 Van Duren Street. He's neat. Everything in its right place. Master's degree in art history from the University of Tallahassee, the same place Geller taught at before he disappeared. I understand the urge to end someone's life, but what is this fascination with ending the world? Looks like the same numbers we found in the Doomsday victims. Defacing a Bible and probably breaking a rule. Most people believe we have free will, that we all choose our path. Sometimes the path is clear, sometimes not so much. Every twist, every turn can challenge our sense of direction. But it's the choices we make when we reach a fork in the road that define who we are. The night Julio and his crew came for Nick, I hit one of them with a baseball bat. He seemed like Julio's number 2, which could mean he's now number 1. Blood. If he's in the system, I'll have a name. have a match. Leo Hernandez. Two felony arrests, as well as one for failure to pay child support. What are the odds you're at your last known address? Something's not right. Eli isn't barking. If Leo were the man in the hood, the dog would be going crazy. The only person other than Brother Sam Eli doesn't bark at is Nick. The night Brother Sam carried Nick from his apartment, Nick fired a shot at him from the couch, I'm guessing, since he was stoned. So the bullet should be... here. The striations match the bullet taken from Brother Sam. Nick shot Sam, the man who tried to save him. He's the ultimate Judas. Let go of the darkness. How is that even possible? I've accepted the path I'm on. But can I take a detour with Nick for Brother Sam? One thing is certain, there's no way to get around the fork in the road.
Hey, Dexter.
There's no light in you. There's no light in me. I've been lost before. After Rita died. After Lumen left. But now I've been found. Brian Moser, my dead brother. It's been a long time since I've seen him.
Too long.
Brother Sam believed light can keep darkness at bay. But I wonder if darkness is defined by light. If so, darkness can exist on its own. There must, by definition, be light somewhere, waiting to be found. Grown-ups are a lot harder. My sister gave me a day off, and I took 5. She has every right to be angry, but I can't tell her that I was in Nebraska, or why I was there. Or maybe I drowned him, right where Brother Sam's ashes are floating. Is it possible that Brother Sam changed me? Travis has a dark passenger all his own, but unlike mine, his walks and talks and breathes and goes by the name Professor Geller. And most significantly, his dark passenger can be killed.
Fun.
Children trust that when we put them to bed at night, they'll live to see another day. Adults are not always so fortunate. Travis is my only way to Geller. I have to convince him to help me. Maybe I need to learn to speak his language. Brother Sam did say all the answers were in here. I'm not sure he meant the answers to my kinds of questions.
I think he's Geller's accomplice.
Travis just shot to the top of Miami Metro Homicide's most wanted list. Did Travis go back to Geller? Or was this the price Travis paid for defying him? A ripped seam. FN Galway. This used to be some kind of vestment, a robe, maybe. Geller has seen me now. This just got much harder.
I'll help you. I'll help you kill him.
I've gotten Travis to trust me. In my own way, I'm going to eliminate a small bit of darkness and let some light in. I've had my dark passenger for so long that I can't really recall life without it. Like someone who's grown up with a club foot, or a stutter, or a lazy eye. It's simply been my own affliction that I accept as part of who I am. But for Travis, his dark passenger is a more recent acquisition. And he's not adjusting so well. Two-lot, the second law of thermodynamics. Tendency for order to become disorder or chaos. What does it have to do with the bowls of wrath? A parking pass. You visited the Miami South campus. Were you stalking your next victim? Professor Casey's controversial book, Two Lots Tales, claims to demolish every argument offered for a God-centered universe. If Geller wants to pour out his wrath, who better to receive it than tireless crusader for the virtues of atheism? Geller. He's been dead all along. Did Travis act alone? Did Travis kill all those people? Travis is the only doomsday killer, and I've made a terrible mistake. At least I still have Geller's blog. The prodigal son has returned. False prophet. He's talking to me. I listened to you once and I made a mistake, but never again. I'm going to fix it. What's his mistake? Was it straying from Geller and listening to me?
Maybe it was from those jars.
Holly Benson didn't escape. Travis let her go because of me.
What you got? Anything else?
Could she be the mistake Travis was talking about?
Share with us?
The mistake he needs to fix. Travis is already back on Geller's path. Will Holly be his victim in the Wormwood tableau? If I find Holly, hopefully I'll find Travis. This is the spot, but no boat, which means Holly is probably on it. Unfortunately, Travis may be with her. Only one way to know for sure. Check the security camera footage. Found the fuck pad. Travis. Why is he in a hazmat suit? The hunt for Travis has hit a wall, but maybe there's a way around it. Steve Dorsey, aka Doomsday Adam, Travis's recently deceased acolyte. There might be something in your history that can lead me to Travis, or lead us to Travis, since anything I find I'll report to Deb. Unfortunately, Dorsey has led a squeaky clean life. Mostly, he's a potential mass murderer with 8 outstanding parking tickets. If Travis can attack Miami Metro, he can find his way to me. I can't take that risk. I've always known something could happen to me, but now it's more than my life I have to worry about.
Hey, thanks for...
The lake of fire is his next tableau, but mine doesn't require a name, just the right message. And the best way to get Travis to pay attention to that message is if it comes from me. Sorry about this.
Might lead us to Travis.
Not likely. I left Geller in pieces in the swamp. Right on time. My tableau should send Travis right to me. Now he just needs to know where to go.
They have any leads at all, and now we...
I thought I was headed in the right direction. My dark passenger back behind the wheel. But if I was so sure I knew where I was going, how did I get so lost? I guess it's fitting that I end up where I've left so many others. I only wonder if the world will be a better place without me. It's wrong what people say about dying. I'm not flashing back over my life, over the lives I've taken. I'm thinking about the life I'll miss. Harrison, I'll miss watching my son grow up. It's finished. Those were Travis's last words to me. And he's right, there's no way to find him now. I'm going home to my son.
Excuse me.
This was Travis. He killed these people because he needed a place to hide. Despite what Travis said, maybe it's not quite finished. My one advantage is that he thinks I'm dead. Travis redid that same sketch yesterday, and it looks different. I thought it was a mountain, but maybe it's a building. What was the last thing Travis said to me? He'd be standing atop a shining pillar of light. The solar-powered Transcore building was designed to capture and reflect the sun as it moves across the Miami sky. A pillar of light.